Hi guys, welcome back to another Frugal Friday, where we are just a week out from Christmas, and I know I haven't finished all my shopping yet. Have you?
I don't think so, but I have to look at what I've accumulated
Mm,
over the last month or so.
that's fair.
Hmm.
So, I hope you guys are having a good holiday season for what you can, and everybody's staying safe out there. So, this week we are not talking about a Christmas chapter, but we must carry on with the book. So, we have chapter 29, which is,
Do business with friends, which is kind of the opposite of what a lot of people say. Like, never mix friends and business?
yeah.
Yeah,
So, you think they got a new twist on it?
I think so. Let's dive in.
All right.
Okay. The popularity of the phrase, don't do business with friends, seems a particularly modern indulgence. Obviously, such a saying can only arise in an economic system where we actually have the option of keeping our financial and practical interactions at arm's length, along with any conviviality or conflict that may accompany them. More troubling, the phrase indicates a lack of confidence in our capacities to communicate clearly, stand up for ourselves, forgive others, and acknowledge our own mistakes. Adam runs a permaculture education and design business with a long term friend. Over time, customers have turned into friends and in some cases even joined the business. Culinarily talented friends are hired to cater for workshops, putting more love and homegrown produce into the food than any professional caterer could. Potentially delicate issues with suppliers have been resolved while passing around bottles of homebrew and plates of roasted Fred being a cow raised by the business's warehouse manager. Adam wouldn't advise going into business with just anyone you hang out with, especially when your tasting company favors reckless and rebellious characters. But given the initial application of a bit of finer judgment, he finds there to be something truly unique about the camaraderie of a good working friendship. Socializing plus plus. Annie chooses to do as much of her business with friends as possible. She reckons that it keeps her reasonable and honest. Behave poorly, and it will come directly back to her via ill feeling from people she sees all the time. Communicate poorly, and she risks feeling let down by people she cares about. So she rents out rooms to friends in the house she amicably co owns with her ex husband and is paying off with help from a loan from her mum. She pays unemployed friends to help her repaint her house. She can only afford a crummy hourly rate, but sweetens it by providing lunch, fine repartee, and a scintillating soundtrack of 80s mixtapes. She trades plants for car favors, compost worms for singing lessons, garden designs for home repairs, editorial services for massages. She has sold paintings to friends and sewn costumes for their theatrical performances. Of course, there have been disagreements along the way, but she has never once lost a friendship or maintained a grievance, and has shared many more layered experiences than she would have if it was all just pure sociability, or if the exchanges had been purely monetary. Joking and teasing are essential for maintaining mutual tolerance in such dealings. Stating the terms of any agreement at the start is crucial. Don't be bashful about naming your price or engaging in playful barter with a friend. If you know you're playing fair, there's nothing to feel awkward about. Honest confessions early on of possibly unreasonable but non negotiable personal requests are helpful too. I realize it's loco, but I'm a little obsessed about painting the tops of the door frames too. I know they're up there. Particularly useful is the recognition that as long as everyone is happy, exactitude is not as valuable as it is sometimes made out to be. A deal elegantly struck can leave both parties feeling clever and content. Doing the kind of business with friends that is based on trade rather than money has a couple of extra special perks. Often, both parties can trade something that they consider easy to give. It may be a skill that they find enjoyable to use or something they don't need or have a surplus of. Not many people feel that way about money. The real icing on the cake is that by challenging money's role as the fundamental unit of practical transactions, we expand our capacity to see value in other things in life that come to us without the use of money, and that way doth great riches lie. Do
Hmm.
business with friends.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that I agree with that theory.
I think you do it though. You do it with your sister. You trade like your expertise and knowledge in construction for her expertise and knowledge in haircuts?
Who said she's my friend?
Well, I
She's
mean,
family.
yeah, she's family,
No.
but
Yeah, I think there's definitely, especially when you're trading stuff, I think you're always gonna have to trade something with somebody that you know. Otherwise, unless there's some way to find the people that might have the goods. But I think networking might be a better way to, you know, phrase that. I guess if you're always networking, then you're always kind of selling whatever product you're providing to the world. Whether that be your cleaning services, whether that be an actual business you do, whether that be, your vegetables out of your garden. Um, the more that people know about you and what you do, the more people are going to be looking for your products. So, um, now, are they all friends? Well, I mean, I'm guessing that you're not going to network with people that you hate. So, ideally, they're probably somewhat of a friend, but
mm-hmm.
maybe more of an acquaintance. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I know that business and work can definitely change a relationship. And I think that's what people who say don't do business with friends are trying to avoid, because business, everybody has their own opinion on work ethic,
Mm-hmm.
and one person starts feeling like they're doing all the work and the other person's not, then you're going to lose a relationship that maybe wasn't worth it over some little business. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. What do you think?
I think as long as you have really clear channels of communication and a good foundation, then um, I don't think it's insurmountable. I know a couple of things have come up that I was thinking about with this. One of them was it wasn't like a barter or anything, but I worked for my friend who has a tree farm this month, and I wouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
done that if we weren't friends, because I wouldn't have known about the job or heard about it. And almost everyone that works for them is friends with them in some
Sure.
capacity. So they've hired their friends for a season. So that's an area where they do business with friends, and it works out really well for them. Um, I also know, I don't have like, this isn't a business, but I am doing a project, a podcast with a friend, and um, so that's kind of, we have to negotiate like who's doing which aspects and what's getting done and so forth. So I think that's an element where I'm kind of in business, so to speak, with friends.
Sure. Yeah.
And I do think that there's something to be said if you can use your skill set to help someone else who can then use their skill set for you, then you do spend less money. My skill set hasn't been as useful as I think yours is. I mean, you can build things and fix things. I can give people medical advice, but I'm not supposed to give people medical advice outside of.
Start their IV for
Yeah, I can't use any of the things that
them.
I've been trained to do necessarily. I have to just send everyone to the hospital. So, um, but it is handy that you're so skilled at building and stuff. So that could come in handy if we ever did need to barter and trade for different items.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
So, well, interesting. I wonder how you guys have used friends and relationships and business aspects. We'd love to hear those in the comments below.
Mm-hmm.
And anything else that you want to talk to us about. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.